It's Saturday Sandy time, and come with me while I make a homemade bone broth. This is one of my favorite things to do, especially when it gets cold outside. I like to make it for a long time. I'm gonna be cooking it all weekend. It's great for skin, gut health, inflammation, your immune system, hair, skin, and nails. There's really nothing that this broth isn't going to be nourishing for. And I'm gonna show you how I do it. Here are the things I'm going to be doing. All of these bones, as many different bones as possible. You want to get a lot of different animals. You want to think chicken feet is a great source of cartilage. You want the cartilaginous bones. So chicken, lamb, beef, goat, anything that you can find. So these will be the bones that I'm going to first roast. The reason why I'm going to roast them is because they will develop a lot of flavor and caramelization from here. Then I'm going to throw in a whole bunch of parsley. These are the only carrots I can find. Celery, onions, and I'm going to make it more of a citrus flavor is what I'm thinking. So these are frozen apples. I don't know why they were there, but here we are. And then we're gonna throw some tangerines. These are bones that I've been collecting. These are lamb chop bones, so I'm going to add that to the mix. And then I'll show you how French people eat these radishes. Okay, so I'm roasting the bones first with some onions, garlic, and this is going to caramelize them to get flavor. So we really want it to be rich and delicious so you can drink the bone broth on its own without needing to supplement. I'm gonna do about 30 minutes. I'm gonna do 30 minutes at 450. Okay, so now I'm gonna get my pots ready. So herbes de Provence is the best seasoning in the entire world, especially on steaks, but it's delicious in bone broth. So what I'm doing is I put a bay leaf and herbes de Provence over both because I don't think I'm gonna have enough in one pot. You can absolutely do a pressure cooker with this too. That's totally fine. I'm also going to add my oranges. I'm just throwing the whole things in. And then I'm going to add my parsley. This is for flavor, added goodness. So I already washed these, soaked them. Parsley is very dirty, so always wash them first. Throw apples in. Why not? A little citrus. Carrots bring sweetness. So this is going to be kind of a sweet broth. And then celery always brings balance to any type of broth. Celery, onion, and carrots are what is called an au pois, and it's what you always start with whenever you're making any type of soup. These look a little yucky at the end, so I'm just going to trim them down. Flavor. Okay, so these are done. See how caramelized they got? That's all flavor. So I'm going to dump all of this into the broth and let it simmer for the next 2 days. So now what I'm doing is I'm putting all of these roasted bones into the broth. And this is absolutely going to radically change the inflammation that I've been feeling is going on in my skin. If you're feeling bloated, if you're just feeling like your gut health is off, bone broth is one of the best ways to do this because it all comes back to collagen. You know, everybody asks, should I take collagen? Collagen oral supplements are great, but they're really not going to go to the face. They're going to heal the gut, which is great. But you can't take oral collagen and think that it's going to like grow collagen on your face. And then what I'm going to do is take this grease, deliciousness, and I'm going to pour it right in. Because that's all flavor. I might even scrape some of this stuff, but I can't do it with one hand. Now the key is to put enough water, but not too much water, so that you're not diluting it. So I'm gonna add more just so everything is covered. Just enough because the water will burn off. And then in terms of how long you want to do this for, it's a minimum of like 4 hours. If you put it in a pressure cooker, it's probably better. And but the longer that you do it, the softer the bones will get. So you want to think about what is actually happening with bone broth. If we can soften those bones, then that cartilage gets soft, and that's where all that collagen, all that really, really rich nutrients comes out of. So the longer you could do it, the boggier that you can get the bone, the better. So some people will even make their bone broth, and if the bones aren't totally boggy, they'll refreeze them and then they'll do it again. So you really want to get all that bone marrow, all of the, if you have cartilaginous, I still can't say it, that is really what the focus of the richest ingredients comes out of. Of course, you should be choosing organic. If you don't have organic bones, then what you want to do before you roast them is you want to blanch them. So you want to blanch them on high rapid bubbles, very high rapid bubbles for I think 15 to 25 minutes, and that's going to take out all the impurities from your bones first. All these bones are organic, locally farmed, the whole kit and caboodle. I got it at the farmer's market this morning. So now I'm turning up my heat, and I'm going to bring it to a boil. Good, they're both pretty good temps. Bring it to a boil, and then as soon as it comes to a boil, I'll put it on simmer, and I will leave it and just mix it up every couple hours for the next couple of days. Okay, bone broth is done. It is a very, it's done when it's really a dark color.
Wait, Mom, why do you put bone broth in ice cream?
Good question. So how do I store it? Because bone broth doesn't hold very long in the fridge. It's only about 3 to 4 days. So I get ice cube trays and I fill them up. I've already done this one. And I fill them up, and I'm gonna start freezing them. And as soon as this is frozen, I'm gonna put them all in a big plastic bag. And then how I use it is I'll take 2 or 3 cubes every morning and throw it into a smoothie if I'm having that. You can throw it into rice to make rice. You can put it into any soups, of course, or broths. But it is the best way to nurture your skin, improve your gut lining, decrease inflammation, all of the things. And that is my go-to bone broth recipe.